Hello everyone, N3FJZ here with more MAX-SSB work. Today this is module number 210, which is the IF amp A, and it's for the MAX-SSB transceiver. And it is a West Hayward W7ZOI bidirectional termination insensitive amp that he has published. There's a link to his paper in the description. Okay, module 210 is right after the mixer. Which is then feeding the crystal filter. It's bidirectional. It provides IF amplification for the receive and for the transmit. Okay, as far as the overall receiver and transmitter are concerned, for receive, the signal, of course, will come through the antenna, through the Stockton bridge, through the low-pass filters. It's bypassed around the PA, makes its way through the bandpass filter, makes its way through the variable gain RX amp, through the first mixer, and here's module 210. 210 then feeds the crystal filter. Crystal filter then drives the IF amp B, which I'll cover in another video, and then the product detector, and then on to the audio amplification. On the transmit direction, you would get through the mic amp, through the balance modulator, which is also the product detector, but in this direction it's the balance modulator, through IF amp B in its TX direction, through the crystal filter, and then module 210 IF amp A will go through the TX portion of the amplifier, through the mixer, through the TX amp, through the bandpass filter. During transmit, of course, we'll have the PA engaged in the circuit, and then through the low-pass filter, through the Stockton bridge, and then out through the antenna. Okay, I have a link in the description of this video that takes you to the schematic, or you could do a search for my call sign, N3FJZ. Find circuit 6040 Homebrew Ham Radio, Remy Park. That'll take you to my home page. Select the MAX-SSB transceiver, and on the left, if you scroll down to IF amp A module 210, it will bring up the schematic and the layout. And then just below that you will see the link to Wes Hayward and Bob Kopsky's white paper for a termination insensitive amplifier for bidirectional transceiver. And that will bring up the paper that this amp is based on. In my case, I have the gain set to 15 dB using the resistors that are shown here in this table, and those resistors are identified by RL, RF for feedback, and RD for the degeneration. So those values correspond to the values in this table. So if you want to build this amp with a different gain, you could use the values that are shown here in the table. And it's also explained in W7ZOI's paper for more detail. Okay, to test this module, I'm going to install it with an AB switch in my existing rig, ZX SSB2, and I'll be able to use the existing amp, which is right there before the crystal filter, and use the AB switch to switch the existing amp and the new amp in and out of the circuit to demonstrate the difference between the two. Okay, to get a baseline before I substitute in the new module, we'll see what we can hear on 40 meters. The conditions are really bad today, but we should be able to hear something.
Okay, I thought I heard this station. Let's give it a try. Victor Echo 3, is it Echo Alpha Monster? Go.
That's correct, Al. The name here is Baker Ocean Baker. The call is the E3EAO. Echo Alpha Oscar.
Okay, so we are receiving something, and the module I'm going to be substituting will be this one right here. This is the amp A, IF amp, right after the first mixer, just prior to the crystal filter. So what I'll do is I'll parallel this amp, tack solder it on to the side here, and wire in this AB switch. Okay, I have the amp tack soldered in, and AB switch is connected. Right now I have the switch thrown in the position that gives, it lets the original amp, the original amp is connected to the signal path.
I was getting a lot of QSL cards from different...
And when I throw it down, the new amp is in the circuit, but I don't have power to it yet. Let me put power to it.
I figured one day, why don't I just go for my license and see if I can chat with them myself. So it worked out pretty well.
There's the new amp. There's the original amp. And wait for the other station to come back to give us a little bit better comparison. Conditions are not good today. Most signals are very weak. New amp, original amp.
Overseas broadcast stations. It was a lot of fun, actually. I really enjoyed it. And I don't do a lot of DX anymore. I'm mostly just gabbing, but I sort of bounce around.
And this is the switch wiring.
This is an IC70. Excuse me, this is an IC7300, by the way. And the SB220 amplifier. So, running about half power, I guess. And yeah, there's quite a QSB. You're bouncy also, but I'm able to pull you through there, no problem. Got my headphones on, so as I say, I don't hear a lot of people.
Alpha Echo Golf. Kilo Foxtrot 8, that's Alpha Echo Golf. 5-9, it doesn't work. QSL, you're giving me a 5-7 across the pond in Northeast Ohio.
Okay, to my ear, they sound the same to me. I want to say that this is a successful test, and that the receive path is working. I don't have a PA, so I can't do the transmit, but that would work very similar. Okay. N3FJZ, keep building and stay tuned, and I'll have the video up for the IF amp B, which is identical to this one. So essentially it's the same. You'll see the same content, but with that other amp. 7-3 everyone.